Hey, this is Lorena, and in this video I wanted to share with you how to figure out if the quilt you're getting from your client is wavy, and also too if you're a quilt top piecer, quilt top maker, how can you see if your quilt top is going to be wavy or not? So I've been kind of trying to figure out why, one, do we have wavy quilts when in quilting you're measuring and remeasuring and trimming and cutting and measuring. What are the things that cause us to have quilts that have some wavage or puddling or extra fullness? Why? What causes it? I sat down and I was thinking about this, and I was wondering if, can I be the reason why I have a wavy quilt top? Can I be the factor? You know, I was thinking about it. Is it the bias? Is bias what is causing me to have waviness problems? Or is bias is what creates my clients to have border problems? Or, you know, is it the bias? Or could it be me? Could it be me? Could I be the problem? So I had a serious look at myself, and I sat down and I thought about how I behave after I finish a quilt block. Unknowingly, I'm a show-off at heart. Every time I do something, I want to show it off. That's why I do it on YouTube. I want you to see the effort I put into my fabric, the effort I did on my quilt top, and I want to show it off. So I was wondering if me grabbing my fabric and pulling it in front of you, is that what's causing me to have a waviness in my quilt tops? Is that the problem? Nah, it's not me. So I went and I measured this quilt top, and I wanted to make sure that I had the exact measurements before I had my kids show and tell it. Now at the time I did not have a border on it. Now this is a great example of a quilt top that a friend made for me, and it has a lot of half square triangles. So half square triangles have a lot more bias. And then I had my kids go and present it. I measured the top and bottom of this quilt, okay? And then I went back and I measured the left side and the right side. And I just made sure that I had perfect measurement as I possibly could to make sure that I had it right. And I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and that's what this next clip is about. Now this other clip is, you're gonna see my kids do kind of like a show and tell. Then what I did is I got the quilt that my kids were showing and telling, and I remeasured the top and bottom and remeasured the left side and the right side. And I wanted to know if there was a difference in stretch. Well, to my surprise, in certain areas, in the areas where my kids were stretching it, there was an increase up to 1 inch of stretch on that area of the quilt. Have you ever thought how many times you show that quilt off to everybody? You just finished it, you work your heart out, and you're so excited to go to quilt class. And there you are, without a border on it, showing it off to everybody, unknowingly stretching the quilt in one area. And yeah, that was a big realization. We are a big part of why we have waviness in our quilts. You can measure right, you can cut everything right, but it's what you do with the quilt when you're showing it off and having it in front. You stretch it, you're stretching it. Unknowingly you're stretching it because you're holding it nice and taut because you want everybody to see the whole picture of the quilt. So let's talk border making. I think the way you make your border also affects how your quilt measures after you put the border on. On the other yellow and blue quilt, I made sure that I made my border with as little bias as much as possible. Here's your 45. Where this white area is, I don't know if they call it across the grain, something like that. Don't quote me, probably not right, but in this area, there's very little stretch. On this fabric, there's no pull. But on this side of the quilt, which is the 45, there is so much stretch. So this was, you can see, look how much it stretches. There is this stretchiness on this border. I also think that that would be a factor when you're trying to bring your quilt and make it square, that this stretch, it's not on the bias, because this is the bias, but this factor has a little bit of stretch, will also affect when you're putting the border on. So my recommendation, it's cut your border fabric this side so that it has very little stretch. It will bring in your, if your quilt is off by 1 inch or 1.5 inches, it will bring it in, and the border itself does not stretch with the factors that you already have. I measured this quilt, and there was a difference in the one area had a 1/2 inch difference and one area had a 1/4 difference. So I went and I did my borders the way my friend Melanie taught me, and I measured from the center, and I had to work some fullness of this quilt into the border. So after I did that, I went and I remeasured the quilt to see if this would fix that difference, that inch difference, that 1/2 inch difference, or that 1/4 inch difference. And lo and behold, when I measured one whole area, it measured exactly the same measurement on the bottom and the top. And then when I remeasured the left side, they got the same measurement from the left side to the right side. So I knew that my quilt, in a sense, was square, or even, or, yeah, okay? I really do thank you for watching. I hope this video is helpful for you. So I do appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye. Do some beautiful quilting on. Lily, there's no one there. Okay, do you see the stretch on hers? And I'm pulling just as much as she is. And that's the difference on how you cut your border. Okay? Feel this. Feel the difference. Stretch it like you were stretching it.
Oh. What did you do?
I just cut it differently. Feel this?
Oh. This is facts. Like, look at this.
So, we're both stretching it.
Yeah. That's,
so this stretches a lot more than that one. It's more taut, like tunk, tunk, tunk.